Welcome back to Learn SKN, and today we have a short video for you just highlighting some of the key points from today's presentation, September the 5th, the presentation at the official release of the CXC 2022 exam results held there in St. Lucia. And so for this video, we're just going to highlight a few things that I think might be of importance. They didn't go too in depth with some of the CXC subjects. They did mention POB, and so we look at that later on. So we're going to look at some key points. So this is going to drop just before the release of your exam results. So when your exam results come through, let me know how well you all did. So just a few issues they highlighted with the SBA. So one of the complaints would have been that SBAs was submitted rather late, even though they had extended period of time to submit the SBA. So that's something the schools have to work on, the submission of the SBAs. So very late submission of SBAs in some cases, no SBA submitted for some centers. So that's one thing again we have to work on, the timing of the SBA submission, because that seemed to be one of the problems that was highlighted by the meeting today. And then we had electronic testing. So they're saying there is that they had some issues with electronic testing, such as power outage, the wrong browser being used. So you had some technical difficulties still exist as it relates to electronic testing. However, electronic testing overall has seen an increase, right? So for CXC, there was a 24% increase in electronic testing. So you can see here it jumped to 78,816 entries, right? Is from previous years. They compared to 2021, so it's 24% up. So that's a good thing. So that's one thing else that was highlighted in the ceremony. And like I was saying before, look at what they're saying here as it relates to SBAs. We're seeing here that there was an increase in the record of the SBAs that were not submitted. So look at what they're saying here right here. Candidates not submitting SBAs to teachers, 25,967, right? So it is down from last year, but that's still a lot, right? When you look at the percentage rate, it's just slightly down. Last year was 7.59%. This year is 6.42% of records, of percentage of records not submitted, just nothing, right? So we have to do better than that. We have to submit our SBAs to our teachers. I personally have experienced that where students just ain't submit any SBAs. I am not one to take subject from students, but sometimes students disqualify themselves by straight up not submitting any SBAs. So we definitely have to work on that one for the upcoming school year. We have to submit our SBAs in a timely manner. They also highlighted some irregularities and hardships that they encountered in 2022. And they're saying here for irregularities, it seems as though there's been an increase by 75%. Now, they say irregularities is a nice way of putting, cheating. They're saying there's incidents of cheating. You had cell phone usage and things like that. So that's what they call them when they say irregularities. What they want to really say is cheating. So man in the exams cheating. And so that increase by 75%. So we can't have that. We can't do the cheating thing. Let's not go down that route and try to improve. I mean, it's not a lot of people. Look at that. Just 35 persons try to get away a little thing. They didn't. So don't risk it. The reward is not worth it. The risk is not worth the punishment. So we're not in here about the cheating thing. Then hardships. They describe hardships as things like things that would impact you psychologically, like a death in the family or something like that, sickness, COVID, that kind of thing. And so some people would have to refrain from writing the exam due to those kind of problems. And they say that cases of hardships went down this year by 57%. So that's a good thing, right? We don't want anybody being too distressed that they can't do their exam. So that's a good thing. Let's keep it on a downward trend. So they did not really touch economics in this presentation, but what they did was they highlighted principle of business as one of the business subjects, and based on the information, they're saying that there was a slight improvement in the pass rate for principles of business. It moved from, so the image isn't exactly too clear when they were streaming it, but it seems as though the pass rate moved from, in 2021, from 70, about 70 high, I'm not too sure what it is, but 70 something percent to 80% in 2022. So as you can see from the graph, it's a marginal increase, but it's an increase nonetheless, and that's a plus. Though, as you can tell by the graph, it has not yet reached pre-pandemic levels, right? Where the past it was some 87%. It has not reached that as yet. So we're still working towards pre-pandemic levels. We're working our way up. But thank goodness we have channels like mine to help you guys to get to those grades. One major point of concern seems to be mathematics, where the pass rate for maths was what? I think it 31% it was, and it's not very clear, but I think it was 31 or 37 somewhere, but it's in the 30s. The pass rate for maths is actually in the 30s, and that's down from last year where it was in the 40s. So maths getting some real knockout. I would like to know what's going on with maths. Maths introduced an SBA component. So I thought that with SBA things would get easier, but it doesn't seem that way. Maths really still in a rut with a 30-something% pass rate across the region.
Overall, we saw.
So those are some of the highlights that came about from the official release of the CXC ceremony, CXC results ceremony. Those are just some of the main highlights I chose to show. Like I said, POB was highlighted. There's an improvement in the this year compared to last year. So what I would like in the comment section is when the clock strikes the time and you all go and check your grades, let me know who did what, if you did well. I mean, they say there's been an improvement in, well, there's a decline in grade 1, it seems. And so just let me know what y'all got for this year. Right, so that's it for this short video. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Stay tuned for more content. Starting in September, we're gonna do some more lectures, some more past papers. Anybody got the past papers from this year, let me, you can send them to learnskn@outlook.com and we'll handle those past papers here. All right, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching again, thanks for listening.